most women feel like they can get the top 10 to 20% of men, but you're not falling under the top to 10% of the women. That's the problem. So you really punching outside your weight class. That's the problem. So you're never going to find a dude that's suitable in your opinion, but you don't understand that there's certain improvements that you have to make.
Comment in between y'all. A black woman, particularly a black woman, could put herself in the top 30, 40 percentile of women in competition if she was just getting her healthy weight.
So in reality,
she's already beaten out 70% of the competition if she can just get in her goal weight.
Why do we have to fall into the?
If we can just have the opposite way of thinking, let's find out what are the good qualities of men. We're looking at it all wrong. Like if they did the same thing for us, they would think we were awesome, right? But we don't see them as great. We don't understand the presence of a man, or he's gonna be a father to your children.
I can kind of clear this up because there seems to be some type of an issue here with people understanding what's really happening. What the problem is this, right? You're not getting the results you want. You have to improve. People who have the nerve to say that they can't find someone to marry, right? There weren't any options. No, you can't attract the men who you actually desire, right? And until you come to that realization, you won't find the man that you desire because you refuse to improve. The problem is a lot of people, particularly women, expect a man to accept certain things that are unacceptable, right? And if you look at it, women who have a certain demeanor about them usually find themselves being married. And then there's another type of demeanor who you never really see married. They say there's not a lot of eligible men out here. All the eligible men are taken. But the women who fall in line and understand what this really is usually find a man and get married. There's not many good women that I see out here who understand what a man actually wants and is willing to fulfill it that aren't able to get married. You had something? Go ahead.
Yeah. So okay. So the question was, are there in general a lot of desire for these men, right? So if you got to take in consideration, one, there are more women than there are men in this country.
Where? How many more?
But let me finish. Then you have to take into consideration, you know, those who are in jail. Yeah, those who are gay. There's so many. Y'all like to ignore that, but it is what it is. There are so many other things, and then you have to think of too. Now, I'm not saying there are great black men. I know a lot of them. Okay, we're not taking it away. We're talking about in general, though, right? And then when you're talking about mating with someone, you want someone who you're attracted to, not somebody who's so handsome, but somebody at least you want to kiss. You feel me? Or you find attractive. You want your woman to be attracted to you in some way, form, fashion. I would hope. And so there are so many. When it comes to women, women's minds are just so much more complicated than guys, I think. When it comes to mating. So when you put so many other things but I agree with some of the things. I'm sorry, I just finished that sentence. When you put all those things in consideration, it is hard for some women to find a really decent catch that's not already taken. Because think about it right now, even dating, more than likely, you find a good catch, he's already talking to somebody. There's somebody in the background, situationship, friends with benefits. There's something going on in the background.
Yeah, no, I understand all of that, but most women feel like they can get the top 10 to 20% of men, but you're not falling under the top to 10% of the women. That's the problem. So you really punching outside your weight class. That's the problem. So you're never going to find a dude that's suitable in your opinion, but you don't understand that there's certain improvements that you have to make.
Comment in between y'all. A black woman, particularly a black woman, could put herself in the top 30, 40 percentile of women in competition if she was just getting her healthy weight.
So in reality,
she's already beaten out 70% of the competition if she can just get in her goal weight.
Why do we have to
So,
fall into this shit every time?
listen, real fast. Most people,
Hold on, Sweeney. Hold on. Sweeney said we got to always fall into what, Sweeney?
Like, god damn, can we just be candid for like 30 minutes? Just for once. Why do we have to keep falling into this shit every time?
Because y'all won't let me go.
You think someone's being disingenuous and not candid?
Before we go to the extreme,
It's like,
Sweeney,
ahead.
because I'm the girl version of you right now. Please. I was doing this and everything. You should have caught it. So, Shan, you see that this is the problem with us women and then Black women.
Mm-hmm.
We see the glass half empty when it comes to men.
Correct.
Everything you said was a limited way of thinking about it. There are not enough good men around. They're already married. It's like men can do the same thing to us and say, but Black women this and Black women that, but Black women this. But there's a lot of good men that are out there, right? Mm-hmm. If you took the pool of men that are around right now and took them in the 50s, they would be very popular. But it's because our expectations are just crazy. That's why it's so difficult. So wait, you said a lot of things that was like, oh, they're in jail, they're gay, this is sounding like all of the younger women, and this is why they can't find. Why is it only Black women can't find a good man? I
think that the only thing that you're missing is I also put in consideration being in the streets, which takes out a lot. Okay. So a man without self-control when it comes to his penis, that to me is not a good man. So that more than jail, more than anything of the other things that you just mentioned, which I would agree with, that is the biggest concern.
I got you.
So what I'm saying is eliminates a lot of people. So that's
right. But women are still going to accept them. So we talked about this before. The body count of the men don't matter because women are not making that.
But I'm telling you,
for me,
yeah, me so too. when you ask me a question about good men, just know I say that there are not a lot because I take that in consideration.
Okay. So the things that you take in consideration can actually put a limit on your options.
I think Ruth's mic is a little low. Are you? Is it just me or is it a little?
Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Let me see if I turn it up a little bit. You go ahead, keep talking, Ruth.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, you go ahead, keep talking.
Okay. So Shan, if we can just have the opposite way of thinking, let's find out what are the good qualities of men. We're looking at it all wrong. Like if they did the same thing for us, they would think we were awesome, right? But we don't see them as great. We don't understand the presence of a man, or he's gonna be a father to your children. Like we just looking at money, okay? Or we're looking at he gotta look good. I'm talking about the women in general. Women in general. But the thing is that you say you have the same talking points as these women. So
but I'm talking for myself. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not, because I don't care about a guy having a six-pack. I don't care about having 6 figures. And those are the things I care about. But what I do care about is taking accountability. How many times we argue about, okay, if you get a girl pregnant, it's not your fault. It is. How many times do we talk about just being in the streets? I think that I think that a person who is of great care, a good man, it will show in his trail, being that the women that he's able to get to submit to him, to be in a relationship with him, that makes him who he is, right? Not just out here tricking or not tricking, I don't mean to say that, but just out here spreading penis love to everybody. You have to have standards for your body.
Sure.
If you have standards for your body.
There are some guys, but you addressed a lot of points.
Shan, how many partners do you think a person would have over a lifetime to be considered in the streets?
I think it's a mentality. I don't think
Come on, man. We make this harder than it has to be. I'm
just telling you my opinion. It's not a
no, I'm just trying to get like a definitive answer. And like
I think that there are great Black men. I'm surrounded by so many great Black. I think this panel is full of Black men. The people I've met in this space are great Black. So I want to emphasize that because I don't want people to think that I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think when you say that it's okay to just spread your seed, you don't have to, just go out here and be in the streets. To me, that takes away from it.
Fair.
I agree with you.
I
agree with you. But she also, Sweeney, said that every man over 35 is a red flag. But some guys are in relationships. They stay in relationships, but those relationships didn't work out because it wasn't because of that person. It was because they were in the relationship with the wrong person. And what's that other person? That was a woman. So if you think about all the friendships that you have nowadays, people don't have morals and standards like they used to. So we have declined as women. We don't believe the same things. We don't have that high moral standard all the time, and that's why that guy over 35 is not married. That's what a lot of them don't have kids, but we still believe. I had to see the numbers myself to believe, and then I was on the app, and a lot of guys didn't have kids. I didn't even know that. So if there is another world, if we open our minds, there's a whole world of guys that are good guys, but because they can't get that big top corporate job, they don't qualify. But if y'all was working together, they would qualify. But that's the thing about it. It's like the whole thing is set up to like make us look down on them. If we're looking down on them, we go to school, we learn that the black man is a problem. The black man is the one that is the issue with America. The black man is on the news every day. They really at work. But everything they do gets magnified. So we start to internalize these things and think that all men are this or that. I get what you're saying, where some men, they have this little code where they do whatever they want. I'm not talking about them. Those are the minority because they get girls. But I literally just asked somebody, I'm like, so some guys are in relationship after relationship. They don't sleep around. They use condoms. And guess what? I know that's true because why do 54% of them don't have any kids? So they are using condoms. They are being responsible. You see what I'm saying? Now that's your extra standard that you added onto it, but that doesn't mean
that's why. So the question was for me, and I'm not talking about anybody else. To me, that is a big standard. And so I hear everything that you're saying is that cool point, but this wasn't about how women feel. It was about how I feel. And to me, that is a big standard.
Last thing, the reason why I'm addressing this is because somebody else is not like you. They might not have that high character. They're living wild, right? They're living wild, but they took everything you said and they agree with it. Because what happens as a woman, everything y'all say, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds real good. But then I don't think about the other side. But when I look at the whole picture, I'm like, wait a minute, this is all balanced. So people that have that intent of like, yeah, I told you men or don't, you just confirm their bias. That's all I'm saying. I have to address the other side of it.
All right.
It's not directed towards you.
Okay, so we got to make sure we spread the mic, y'all. Let's get a lady in there. We're gonna keep it moving around. Go ahead, Lady Mugalit.
I just, what comes to me is just, may we release ourselves from any attachments we have to how other people control their bodies before we attempt to experience love with them.
I just said me.
No, I mean, yeah, I get that. It's not nothing to.
Because I think about it like this: if you're entering me, everything that comes with you goes inside of me. So I appreciate it. So that's just for me. Everybody doesn't have the same, and I'm not putting this on you. I'm not putting this on you. I'm just talking about for me. And in return, I promise not to go out and sleep with a whole bunch of men. So I can do that for you.
I was talking about for me.
Okay, I just wanted to just. I know that's not
everybody. Let's go ahead and let her finish so we can go moving.
Wrong with it. Okay, I just want to make sure we do what's best for you.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
So that's what I thought about. That's what came up for me with the whole exchange, because I understand both sides. We experience things that creates our perspectives. That just is what it is. Life is gonna life. That's my take on that.